Hello and welcome back to my channel once again for another video. Now I would like to start this video for apologising for the lack of content this week. So normally on a Tuesday a Tuesday and a Thursday there are Europa League and Champions League predictions. This week they both got deleted from my saves ready to upload. No trace of them whatsoever, and by the time that I went to upload them, it was too late to record another video, so I do apologise for that. I'll leave the predictions in the description down below if you want me to. But this video is going to be talking about what Pompey or Porto Football Club need to do in the summer. That is obviously an opinionated video, so do let me know what you think of all the things we're talking about down below. And the three things that we will be talking about today, among others, will be the contract situations with the players, the transfer dealings, and the managerial situation. But before we get into that, can we get 10 likes on this video? Go like down below. And subscribe if you are new, please do, it means a lot to me. Obviously I have a Pompey shirt on from, well, you could call it the glory days or the better days of the football club anyway. But we'll start off by talking about the managerial situation. Now, as it stands, Pompey will be managerless come the end of the season, with the Cowley's contract running out. Now, do they deserve a new contract? Yes, because we were 10th when they came in. All we wanted was stability, and the main aim was playoffs, but they managed to get fans dreaming of automatics at one point. Yes, they're out of view now, but we were dreaming, and ultimately these managers have given us that belief. They've got passion for the football club. They look like they know exactly what they want to do in the future. If you're looking at them from what they're talking about, oh, we looked at the under-10s this week. We've looked all the way through the academy. We've looked at the club. We know what the fans want. They talk honestly as well. If you look at some of the interviews, like, yes, we weren't good enough today, or we thought this, but it didn't happen. As opposed to, it's good way they lose. These managers have revitalised this football club. We know, well, revitalised, not reinvitalised, but they've given us a new breath of fresh air. Exactly what this club needed has been given to us by these two managers, and I can't thank them enough. As a result, I don't think we should give them a big old 5-year deal or something like that, but I think in the summer we should go have a 2-year deal, because that gives them one season of guaranteed, push for the playoffs. And then if we do get promoted, there's another season there as well. Maybe with an option for another year held by the football club, possibly. But the Eyes are very good businessmen. They won't go whacking out 5-6-year deals. So I think give them a 2-year deal. If it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. But there's not too much financial backlash if you do have to sack them. But also I'm going to say we would have to back them in the transfer market. You can't go giving managers 2-year deals and then going, right, you can have £100,000. Spend it wisely. That's not going to happen. You need to give them a couple of million at least to build the squad they want. If they can build a squad they want, look at the way we've started playing. It looks very good. We'll move on to the second thing now, and that is contract expiries and loan deals. So this is obviously what I think about the players whose contracts are expiring, as well as the players we currently have in on loan. Now all of these players, I'll list them first before we talk about them individually, are Charlie Daniels, George Byers, Rasmus Nikolaisen, Tom Naylor, Williams, Geordie Hawula, Jack Watmore, Andy Cannon, Ben Close, Craig McGilvray, Lewis Ward and Harvey White. Now there's a couple of youngsters the contracts run out as well, but I'd rather talk about players that are practical first team members this season. Starting with Charlie Daniels. No, I wouldn't give him a new contract. He's 34, 33 years old now. We brought him in for a bit of experience, and maybe you want to keep him around in the dressing room again. But if you're looking forward, you shouldn't be keeping a player that old in the squad for a promotion hunting team. George Byers and Rasmus Nikolaisen, we'll talk about them both at the same time. Both loan deals from Swansea and Midtjylland respectively. I don't think either of these two deserve permanent deals or extensions. Neither of them have really shown what we hoped them to show. Don't get me wrong, they've not been awful signings or not been awful players, but they've not been involved enough and they've not been played enough under the Cowleys to suggest that they deserve new deals. I think it was Tuesday night away at Crewe was Byers' first game under the Cowleys. That says a lot. It's taken until now for him to get on the pitch under Danny Cowley, so I don't think he should get a new deal. And Rasmus, again, he's a good backup, but if for a loan deal you want a decent player, and I think if we're going to be spending money, you want a player that's at least good. And Rasmus, I don't think he's going to cut it, and I don't think he would join us permanently anyway. Now the next one is El Capitano, the Ginger Pirlo. That is Tom Naylor, or the Ginger King, whatever you want to call him. But that's Tom Naylor, our captain at Porto Football Club. He's already said this week that the contract negotiations for him have got underway, and I am very glad that has happened. He's shown us exactly what we've been hoping he would in the last few years. This season, well, the last few years since he joined. Under Jacket, he seemed to be held back, whereas under the Cowleys, he's been a lot better. Okay, he hasn't been the best player recently, but just look at what he's done this season, and not even just the goals he's scored, because he has scored some absolute crackers, but he's been a very, very good player for us, and I think he deserves a new deal. Now, Ryan Williams is the same. I think he deserves a new one as well. You won't get a player in his position that will show as much work rate, as much passion, commitment for the football club. May not be getting all the goals and assists you want a winger to get, but he shows us what we need from him. He's passionate, he does all the work, and he puts it in as hard as he possibly can. Now, the next one's a bit of one I haven't said yes or no to. That is Jordi Hawula. Now, the only reason I haven't said yes or no to Jordi Hawula is because I don't know. It's a confusing one. Yes, I'd give him a new contract if we don't have many striking options in the summer, but equally I wouldn't if we do have better options, because he's not really, when he has played, he's not been the best. I do agree though that he hasn't been given the chances he deserves, so I'd give him maybe a year, just because he is a striker that can cover the wings. He's looked powerful and pacey, so I'd give this a 50-50. I wouldn't be unhappy if he left. I wouldn't be really happy if he stayed. It'd just be a fair enough kind of feeling. Now, Jack Watmore, I think, is one of the most obvious ones in this list. I hope he signs a new contract. 100% backing that man to sign the new contract. Yes, injuries have held his career back slightly, but when he's fully fit, he's unstoppable. Yes, there's some mistakes in the lad, but come on, he's not that old. He's definitely a championship level defender. If you let him go on a free, even without the money, you can't replace anyone. Look at Matt Clark. At least we got money for him to bring maybe someone in. Okay, we didn't do the best job of it, but we had the money there. But anyway, we'll move on to two central midfielders now, of Andy Cannon and Ben Close. Once again, I've agreed on these two to both stay at the football club. I think they're both very talented players. Close has come back into the format under the Cowleys, and he's shown why. And Andy Cannon is once again, he's got that energy under the Cowleys. He likes the high press. He gets stuck in. He's a good attacking midfielder and a good one that can drop back. Close is the same. He covers a lot of areas. As a result, those two both deserve new deals. Now, the next one is another man is probably the obvious one in here, is Craig McGilvray. That's a yes. If we don't give him a new contract, who are you going to replace him with? We have one fit keeper at the moment. Alex Bass will be back, but he's not as good as Craig McGilvray. McGilvray got dropped last season, and it coincided with not necessarily a slip in form, because Bass was part of the game. The team that won 9 in a row, or something along that kind of amount of games. But Craig McGilvray is experienced more than Bass is. He looks more talented than Bass is. He looks more confident than Bass is under the Cowleys. Give him a new contract, 2 or 3 years, hopefully even 4. He needs that. Slap it on the table and go, Craig, sign it. Because that's what we need. We need a new contract for that goalkeeper. And talking to goalkeepers, we move on to the next player, that is Lewis Ward. He's on loan from Exeter simply as a backup, and he won't be staying at the football club past the end of the season, and I hope he doesn't. He's not even played a minute for us yet. This is a quick one. I hope he goes. Not because, he's bad, but because we don't need him. The final one then is Harvey White. He's on loan from Spurs. And I wouldn't be disappointed to see him leave because, as I said, he's on loan from Tottenham. But if we could extend it by a year, I'd be a bit more pleased. I've put this one the same as Hawula, as a 50-50. If he didn't re-sign, I wouldn't be gutted. If he did re-sign, I wouldn't be that happy. I'd just kind of be like, yeah, okay, that's a good signing. Because he provides good backup for his age. He's a very good set-piece taker when he wants to be. And he does show signs of being a very, very good young talent. But after talking about those contracts expiring, we'll move on to the other end of it, and the transfers I think we need to getting in. I haven't necessarily singled any out, because obviously that is left to opinion. That's left to who we want to get in. I've just put a couple of positions, maybe a couple of players as well. But left back, I think, is a position we need to improve on, especially if Charlie Daniels is to not sign the new deal. Lee Brown isn't getting any younger, so I think, you get a new left back in who's a bit younger. Not necessarily a starting left back, but one that can just play behind Lee Brown maybe. There's a key one here for Pompey fans, who I think everyone knows who he is. Steve Seddon. Steve Seddon is out of contract in the summer with Birmingham City. We could snap him up for nothing. Would you, Pompey fans, let me know down below, would you be happy with Steve Seddon joining us on a free transfer in the summer? I think we get Steve in as a backup for Lee Brown, and then eventually we'll take over from Lee Brown. Because Lee Brown, once again, he's injured at the moment. He's not had the best. He's been a good left back. He's a good servant. but I don't think he'd last that long. He's getting older. He's not like old, but he's getting older, whereas Steve said and brings a bit more youthfulness into the squad. I've then notified centre-back. Again, could be a backup or a starting centre-back to replace Sean Raggett, but we haven't replaced either of Matt Clark or Christian Burgess. I think Matt Clark hasn't been replaced as a left-sided centre-back yet. Burgess has with Watmore, but we haven't got a duo yet that I think I can be like, get in. Those two are starting again, powerful. Centre-back is a position I haven't really got anyone down for, but I think there's a man currently playing in League 2, Pompey have gone in for before, Manny Monta. He's a good left-sided centre-back, could come in to go ahead of Raggett maybe. I'm not going to say definitely Manny Monta because I don't really know many centre-backs, but he is one that's definitely got the quality. And I will just mention now, this all does depend on whether we go up, whether we stay. Because if we go up, Manny Monta may be a League 2 centre-back, you don't really want to get him in. You want to be getting someone from the League 1 or Championship in, like backup Championship defender or a top-level League 1 defender in. But obviously this is dependent on how we do, whether we do go up in the playoffs or whether we don't. But then I've also notified a position that Pompey fans will definitely agree with me on, and that is a striker. John Marquis has the ability there, he's just not shown it recently. But also, our backups are Geordie Hawula, who leaves at the end of the season, and Ellis Harrison. Ellis Harrison. Wow. I think we need another striker, whether that's a top-level one, or whether that's just a backup. We need someone there that will bang us goals in. We've been missing it since Pittman left. I know Marquis has got a few goals, but we need that man like Pittman that if the ball's in the box, it will end up in the back of the net. Pittman had that in him. It was like, oh, the ball's bobbling around. Oh, Pittman's there, it's fine, we'll go 1-0 up here. We had that belief. Whereas I don't think with Marquis leading the line, I don't think we have a similar level of, belief in a striker. I hate to laugh, but you can't look further than Brett Pittman in terms of finishing ability. And you probably are wondering why I've shifted over to the left here and got a bit closer. So I'm going to go through our squad of players that aren't out of contract, but who I think we need to get rid of as well, which is our next section. Players I think we need to sell. Starting with Paul Downing. Great man, I've met him a couple of times, but not a very good centre-back. He needs to be going out of the football club. Let's have a look down here as well. Who else do we think we should sign? That's probably the only defender I've got there. In terms of midfielders, this is another problem. We don't have much backup. A lot of our backup are loan players and we can't just let them leave. So our backups at the minute are Harvey White and George Byers, who are both on loan. And then we've got Andy Cannon, Ben Close, and Tom Naylor are our senior starting central midfielders. And our wingers there are Harness and Williams. I don't see how, that you're going to sell any of them. There is obviously Jacobs there as well, but he's just injury prone. He has shown it. Our strikers then, on the attacking of FOTMob, we have Marquis, Harrison, Williams, Hawula, Curtis, Tegart, Stanley, Jay Lee and Story. Obviously a couple of them are youngsters. I think the two players from this squad that I'm looking at now are Harrison and Downing. We need to be selling them. They don't fit the ambition we have here at the football club. Harrison does have, he's shown it sometimes that he can score goals with his head, put penalties in. But his last open play goal came against Wigan. I know he's been injured for the last couple of weeks, but it came against Wigan at home. I think that was in Should we have a look now? I'm sorry to go over here again. But we'll have a look at when that game was. So his last open play goal. So obviously he scored a couple of penalties in that time. But his last open play goal came. We're going back. I apologise for this. On the 26th of September. In the 89th minute of a 2-1 loss. A 2-1 loss we may not have deserved, but the 26th of September was Ellis Harrison's last open play goal. That's why I think he needs to go. And ultimately that is why this video is coming to an end. Because that is all I have to talk about really of what Pompey do need to be getting done. We need to give the managers a new contract, back them in the transfer market. We also need to hope we get promoted and then also get rid of a couple of players out of contract and bring them in. But, I don't just want to be talking about this by myself. Let me know down below what you think Pompey need to do in the summer or what you think your club needs to do in the summer. Obviously, I do have subscribers that aren't Pompey fans. So let me know down below if there's anything you think your club needs to do, anything you think Pompey needs to do, whether that is managerial, players you think we should get in or get rid of. Anything really, just let me know down below. Hopefully a Football Manager video or FIFA video will be up soon, as well as the Pompey preview tomorrow, as well as Premier League predictions. And live streams will return on Saturday 12 midday, me and Dad will be back live. We couldn't do it this Tuesday, and I will apologise for that. Hopefully we can get more, all these videos will save. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.